Chaotic day in Karen Reed case. The Karen Reed murder trial was filled with twists and turns on Friday as a juror was dismissed, another juror was caught on camera, and everyone had a pissy day in court, while the most important evidence of the trial was presented to a limited audience. When a day starts with a sidebar, something is up. The jury wasn't even brought in when Judge Beverly Cannoni asked for both sides to come up to a sidebar. That sidebar extended over 40 minutes without instructions to shut off the pool camera that sends the single feed from the courtroom to all the networks. During that time, the camera caught two bailiffs escorting a woman in a red dress to see the judge. This was apparently a juror and resulted in backlash from the judge, who ordered the camera to be shut off for the remainder of the morning session. The feed went dark. Our own coverage on the Really Cool Site YouTube channel ended as we had no feed, and we were being told that the feeds would be coming up a little after noon, so a break was in order. During this time, a rumor persisted that a juror had visited a nightclub that had been mentioned in the case, and that the judge was interviewing all of the jurors to see which one it was. That rumor was never confirmed, but we know from Aiden Turtleboy Kearney and others reporting from within the courthouse during that time that jurors were being interviewed as the camera was dark. It would be eventually revealed that a juror was dismissed for unknown reasons Friday morning, the second juror to be dismissed from the case. Again, circumstances why they were dismissed were never revealed, and the trial resumed. The judge eventually allowed the pool feed to resume via Zoom call for the rest of the morning session, which gave two new and unfortunate viewing angles from temporary cameras placed in the court. Of course, the most important testimony happened during this bizarre time, as data expert Jessica Hyde testified that there was no indication of a search for how long to die in the cold happened at 2:27 a.m. or anywhere near that time. The timestamp in question was made as the tab in the browser was opened and a search was made for a sports-related topic at that time. Later, as Jen McCabe didn't close the tab on her phone, she reused the tab after Karen Reed instructed her to Google how long does it take to die in the cold. The defense in Turtleboy and all of Karen Reed Nation was holding out hope that the timestamp was real, and nothing changed after the testimony. Turtleboy proclaimed that Reed would be vindicated with an acquittal, and none of the actual evidence mattered, as the jury simply would be unable to understand the data presented. Pro-Karen Reed media outlets pounced because the data expert, quote, could not rule out, unquote, the search was made at 2:27 a.m., even though the expert said there was also no proof that a search was not made for pandas at the same time, because there was no data indicating a search. They ran articles with hope, slight hope, that the 2:27 a.m. search was still a real thing because there was no data showing it happened. The rest of the afternoon saw testimony from Massachusetts State Trooper Joseph Paul, a collision and reconstruction expert. His testimony verified that injuries on victim John O'Keefe's body were consistent with being struck by a car, and that the analysis of Karen Reed's vehicle showed no mechanical problems with her SUV. Paul also testified that data taken from the car indicated that some sort of event happened as Reed backed up and then pulled forward. The damage to her car and damage to O'Keefe's body also indicated some sort of event happened that night. Judge Beverly Cannoni excused the jury early as an impromptu voir dire session was held. The defense then argued to exclude evidence that Reed's SUV was not damaged when it supposedly hit O'Keefe's vehicle on footage of Karen Reed backing out of O'Keefe's driveway that the prosecution wanted to use. The Karen Reed trial resumes with a full day on Monday. The jurors are excused on Tuesday, while the court has an extended voir dire session with defense experts. They have a day off on Wednesday due to the Juneteenth holiday, then are back for a full day on Thursday and a half day on Friday.